All right, welcome back. It is almost election day, but we are going to sit down. First off, we have Matt Moulton here. So first, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We have the Houston County Sheriff's race coming up in just a few short weeks. So I have a few questions I'd like to talk with you about. First off, what do you think is the biggest issue or challenge facing the sheriff's office, and how do you plan on solving that?
For now, right now, our biggest issue is manpower, is going to be staffing. We operate a detention facility with the sheriff's office that is our local jail. We also have patrol, traffic, investigations, and warrant functions, as well as juvenile and our 911 center. So our biggest issue is manpower. We've got about 40 positions vacant in our detention center. And you know, it's hard to hire people. In the past, the sheriff's office hasn't really had to focus on recruiting because people have come in and applied for jobs. But that trend has changed a lot, and it's a nationwide problem with manpower being down. So focusing on actively recruiting good people to come into the sheriff's office to do a job that's difficult and often thankless, but is important.
All right. Now, what data are you going to consider most heavily that's going to indicate Houston County is moving towards a safer direction?
Yeah, you know, we have a record management system that we use and do all of our reporting in. And part of the modules in that system, we're able to do crime analysis and report analysis through that. So, you know, if we're looking at an issue such as entering autos, you know, vehicle thefts, things like that, I can go in and build queries in that system to pull the data out of the system for reports that have been written on it. So using that data, you can tell if the numbers have gone up or if the numbers have come down. So using our records management system now would probably be the most effective way for me to use data to make decisions on policing.
All right. Now, how do you plan on making Houston County safer? Is it using the data we just talked about, or what is your plan if elected?
It is. Using the data like that, we can do directed patrols in neighborhoods. If we have one neighborhood specifically getting targeted by entering autos, we can see that data and we can do directed patrols with our patrol guys to go into those neighborhoods and proactively police those neighborhoods. Another method is, you know, with manpower being short, we tend to become more reactive. With calls for service coming out, we have deputies responding to call after call after call, and then having downtime trying to get reports written. They have less time to do proactive policing. When you're not proactively policing, then the criminals don't see law enforcement being active, and they believe that's a foothold for them to come in and start committing crime. So getting our manpower up is going to help tremendously, and then going back to a proactive law enforcement style where we're out actively targeting criminals and taking criminals off the street. All
right. Now, why do you think that you are the best candidate for Houston County Sheriff? What makes you different than the rest?
Well, that's a great question. For me, I'm the only active law enforcement officer in this race right now. I've been a law enforcement officer now for over 28 years, with 24 of those years being right here in Houston County or down in Houston County. You know, I believe I entered into law enforcement because it was a calling, and it's a job that I've loved very much for the last 28 years. I don't know what God is doing or what He has planned for my life, but I know what He's done in my life, and that gives me comfort to know that He wants to use extraordinary people to do extraordinary things. So part of what my focus is going to be is to bring up our manpower and get the crime numbers back under control. We're having a huge problem right now with juvenile crime. Most of our violent crimes being committed by kids between the ages of 13 and 18 to 21 years old in Houston County. So understanding what we deal with daily, being an active member of the sheriff's office now for the past 10 years, I know what issues that we're facing. I've been out there, I've worked patrol, I've worked traffic, I've worked narcotics investigations. I'm currently a lieutenant in the Criminal Investigations Division, so I know the job. I know what issues we have. I know how to address those issues, and I think that that's what makes me the best candidate.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr.
Thank
Moulton.
you. I appreciate it.